Your boy Joe Grizz here, the Team Avalanche, reporting to you live, this time from your Yu-Gi-Oh channel's Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Just always wanted to say that. He allowed us to come on here today to give a brief description of our channel, as well as an Evilsworn deck profile and discussion, where I'm going to thoroughly discuss the deck profile and the main side and extra and how it works for this format, and how you can combat the other matchups it has throughout the whole format to put it in your favor and benefit you. Before we get into that, just like to talk about the channel real quick. On our channel, we offer a lot of good content, from deck profiles to event coverage to product openings, card reviews, articles, matches, giveaways. A lot of fun-filled and original segments, as well as player-to-player interviews. And we have 7 members on the team, so within the 7 members, we like to give you an experience of what decks we'll be playing and how they work against all the other matchups in the format. And we all currently play different decks. No one on my team plays the same deck. We all play 7 different decks for this format. So we like to expand our minds and your minds too, of the viewers, to give you every aspect of gameplay, not just DN profiles. A lot of DN profiles sometimes, but also live and innovative profiles and discussions. So if you're looking for a good Yugituber experience, a better gameplay, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, as well as your Yu-Gi-Oh channel's Yu-Gi-Oh channel, and subscribe to us. Our annotation link to our channel should be somewhere along the lines of here or here, where you can contact us. It'll link you to our channel. Subscribe to us, please. We have 8,000 some odd subs right now, and we'd like to continue growing rapidly as a channel and continue giving you guys what you guys love, which is great content. Also, you can check on our videos where you'll find links to our Yu-Gi-Oh Facebook group, the Team Avalanche Yu-Gi-Oh realm, as well as our Team Avalanche fan page on Facebook, where you can get updates to all videos and events we go to on that page, and you can see what's going on with us, interact with us better, so you don't always have to be on YouTube to see our videos. So without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. So here's the deck list. First off, 1 Rescue Rabbit, standard in this deck, with the 3 Heliotrope. I mean, this is pretty standard. If you don't know about this, then I don't know why you play Yu-Gis. 3 Casta, your double summoning outlet. 3 Kirkion, your recycle outlet. A must in this deck because it gives you plays. Like, top decking the Kirkion out of nowhere is probably the best play. I do it all the time. Top decking this out of nowhere is really what sets the game difference in my favor. And it's controlling. Triple Mandragora, your free special summons. Again, easy to make exceeds. Everything is exceed spammable with the Mandragoras and the Kirkion and the Casta. They all exceed spammable. They make bigger plays happen by putting multiple monsters on the board majority of the time. Double Thunderbird. This is your hit and run guy. Comes into play. Chainable to anything, runs away, comes back. You constantly always have a beater on the field when you have him at 1950, and you don't need to run him at 3 because 3 is too much. It gets cloggy, and he doesn't do anything else except run away. Like, at least running stuff like Mandragora at 3 is Saber Dragon, running Kirkion at 3 to recycle, running Caster at 3. Kirkion. Caster at 3 is your double summon. Like, they all have a multi-purpose. This just has that it can survive a few turns and live on the board and be chained. You can grind out game with this more often than anything. So, but 2 is all you need. So you need that 2 standard. For hand traps, I chose to run the Double Veiler and the Maxi. Double Veiler because in this format, Veiler is a better card in my opinion. More decks are out there. Fire Fists, Infernities, Bujins, like a lot of stuff that makes a difference in the game. So, like, in my opinion, I feel like this is a better card against the entire meta. Maxi at 1, you don't really need it. Dragons aren't running rampant anymore. Only decks you really need to run this against are probably, I don't know, for like Yugioh, something like that. Yugioh Karakuri for the OTK, or Water. But even with Water, I side them out because I side in other stuff. So you don't really need it. But supposedly against OTK decks Maxi, and it's an easy side out card, you don't need it. But Veiler is more prominent in this format just for those specific decks, to be able to play against all the rogue decks and make, stop them from going off potentially. So Veiler is definitely the better card. You're gonna see this in regionals everywhere. These are the cards that they're going to define the format. And maxi just to help. That's the monster count. Spells. Chose to run triple upstart goblin. Triples. People probably wonder why I run triple upstart. It's only because game one, you want to be able to draw into your outs and make the deck more consistent every turn. So what, you're giving your opponent an extra 1,000 life points or a potential extra 3,000 life points that you can easily take back from them once you draw the cards you need. Like, the main focus of this deck is to draw a caster. Like, this is the main purpose of the deck, is to draw this card. So early game, if you draw this and another monster, any other monster, let's say Mandragora, you draw this and this, then you have plays. So your main focus is to always have this in your hand no matter what. Always have a playable combination. Or have the Kirkion for recycling. So that's what you want to focus on in this deck the most, all the time. It's trying to put this in your hand. That's why you need caster. This deck needs to be able to make exceeds to spam out and make its plays. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. It's just a slow deck, you know. But you need consistency. This adds major consistency to the deck. Along with Rhoda and Allure. Just all this just adds super consistency game one. For the games 2 and 3, I side these out. The upstarts always come out the game because they're easy side outs. They don't make a difference in game 2 and 3. All you're doing is taking those out to put cards you need in for the side, which is basically drawing the same deck anyway. You're not taking out your major cards, so nothing in your deck really changes. But you just put in the extra edge against the deck. So that's why you need to play stuff like this. And the Rhoda for caster and the Allure just for extra draw power. I only chose to play double Pandemic. I think 3 is already cloggy. I run the 2 plus the trap, the Infection Trap. Now with the Infection Trap, you're able to recycle all the dead cards back into your deck. And the reason I play 2 Pandemic is because you play stuff like the Double Dress, and you play double Dark Illusions, which I'll get into in the trap lineup. And with those cards, it makes you not have to play the Pandemic so consistently. You don't want to draw into multiples of these and have cloggy hands. Like I said, your main focus is to always draw into the caster or Kirkion, Mandragora, or something like that to make your better plays, or maybe upstart into your rabbit play, which is always a plus in anybody's eyes. So yeah, with the Double Dress and double Dark Illusions and stuff like that, you don't really need more than 2 Pandemics because you're always protected no matter what. And you don't want to draw too much of anything, because drawing too much of anything is bad unless it's a card like Rabbit that gives you a play every turn. But other than that, you don't want to draw multiples of these too much. So yeah, and then quick staples, Dark Hole, the Book of Moon, and only 1 MST. I only have 1 MST in the main because I do play 7 tools, and you don't need to focus on playing 3 MST in the main. I side the other 2, and they work great and perfectly. Like, this is what I prefer playing. When I take out the upstarts against certain decks, the other 2 MSTs come back in against like mostly every matchup. But I want to, you know, just to play 1, because you don't want to focus on your first game. You don't want to focus on just hitting back row, hitting back row, hitting back row. You want to focus on getting your monsters out and your exceeds to make better plays. Make these C to make Ophion, Search Pandemic. That's what you want to focus on game 1. Games 2 and 3, you take out the upstarts, you throw in everything else. You throw in the MSTs. I'll get into the side deck after. I'm gonna show my side deck, and it gives you the edge on things. But first game, you don't need 3 because you don't know what you're playing. So having 1 is always good because you're able to do everything else you need to win game 1. So you don't need to have multiples game 1. You know what I'm saying? You don't need it because you don't know what you're playing. The format isn't defined yet. So since the format isn't defined yet, we don't know what's good and what's not. So you can't just assume you're gonna play Fire Fist or something like that every round, and I'm gonna need MST to pop tanky. I'm gonna need to do this. You're not gonna know that because we don't know what the format holds yet. It's not defined, like I said. So that's pretty much it for the spells. Trap lineup, like I said, double Dark Illusion. I'm not playing 3 of anything in the deck, spell and trap wise, other than upstart. This being able to protect your dark monsters is always a plus. And it's a kind of trap. It ends the chain. Unless they have like 7 tools or something, which I also play. Double Phoenix Chain, along with the Veilers, like I said. You need to stop effects. This format is all about effects, and having in a slower format where effects are important, you need to be able to play stuff like this. level the playing field, slow stuff down in your favor. It's just a great card in general. Of course, double mirror force for people who like to overextend, punish bad players. They think you don't have anything. They go ham. You activate. They die. You win. The pluses are amazing. For the one-ifs, one infection, like I said, I played this in the pandemic. Your recycle outlet. I've won majority of the games I've played because of this card. Being able to always put a dead monster back into my deck to search out the Kirkion. Like, that's your biggest thing to mid-game. After you've established some kind of board and you lost monsters, you get this, so you can always put Kirkion back in your hand and keep making the Kirkion plays, or put Caster back in your hand, or put Mandragora back in your hand, or even Thunderbird. If you feel like you want to play the grind out game, you put Thunderbird back in your deck, and into your hand. Also, if you draw multiples of Heliotrope and Rabbit is still in your deck, to make Rabbit live, you can always shuffle the Heliotrope back into the deck. And that's what's good about Infection. It's just an amazing card. Standard, Solemn Warning, your bottomless, your turn, and then 7 tools to round out, the spell and trap lineup, or the deck overall. Counter trap like Dark Illusions. You don't need to play multiple MSC, like I said, in the main, because you have this. You don't really want to worry about blind spacing. You want to have the confidence that anything you put on the board you're going to protect. Like, you don't need to blind space anything. It doesn't really matter what they have. They have anything, you're going to make your play regardless. You can't play scared. You play scared, you shouldn't be playing this game. You're going to play confident no matter what. So you having this face down, making a big play. They can do anything crazy. 7 tools. They can't chain to it other than another counter trap. And counter traps in these formats are limited. Like, unless you're playing 7 tools also, which it can happen. 1 out of 10 times it can happen. They have 7 tools also, and nobody really plays Dark Bride. So, because you don't want to give your opponent pluses in this format. I wouldn't want to give my opponent any pluses. Slow format, and I don't want to give them any kind of card advantage over me. So pay 1,000, life points are shit. Doesn't even matter. Like I said, upstarts giving them life, this taking away life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because inevitably it controls the game in your favor. So this is just how the main looks. It's good. I'll quickly get into the extra deck. Extra deck's pretty standard. 3 Ophion. Standard Evilsaur, you have to play it. There's still decks that make level 5s and higher. A lot of decks still spam level 7s or attempt to. Dragons are still playable. Like I said, Yugioh Karakuri is a great live deck, and you need to have this to stop it. A lot of people playing Heretics now because they have the Cyber Dragon and the Stampede card, whatever it's called, the spell. A lot of people playing Heretics, and this deck still stops those kind of decks. Water decks, it still does its job. Ophion, Chaos decks, because a lot of decks are like Agents, anything, Black Wings, anything of that in that sense. Your 1 of Evil Sworns, your Ouroboros, which it's a must. You need to play this. 1 Bahamut. I supposed to only play 1. No, 2 is great, but I'm supposed to play 1 because I don't make it as often as I would like. But when I do make it, it's always game changing. It's 1 and 1 Thanatos. You have to play this for the Fire Fist matchup mostly, and Nightmare. I wasn't playing Nightmare before, but playing it now has won me games, matches, because being able to put X amount of monsters on the board and have control, then to make this. So when they try to go off, you just keep booking their monsters, book it, especially summon anything, book it. They can't do anything, especially against your bad matchups like Constellars and stuff like that. You book it, they can't do anything to it. Harpies I played against, and it always gives me a benefit. They try to go off and explode, book. You do it twice. It's a great card. That's it for your Evil Sworns and your standard 4s. Dweller, Dire Wolf, Crazy Box. If they play Skill Drain, those kind of decks do exist right now and are being played. Instant Beater, Mobile, Black Shippercorn, Cowboy, Gem Knight Pearl, Might Stroke, and then Zen Mains, only because Encore is still played in decks. People still side Encore against you. They have to, because a lot of the decks that do, like I said, that make the level 5s and higher have to play it to stop Ophion. So this is still a playable card in the format. It was either this or the Bujin rank 3. I forgot his name. but you know, I really forgot his name. I don't really care for it, but it's either that or this. But I chose to play this. So that's your exceeds, your extra deck. For the side deck, double space for the side. Like I said, you need to put control into the game. So side in the other 2 space every matchup pretty much, because there are people like to side in skill drains against you, like side in decrees against you. That's the biggest thing you gotta worry about, decrees, stopping your traps, and just don't blind space. Wait for them to activate stuff, and this does something. It gets water, hits the spear, it gets fire fist, it hits the tankies and their Tensus and their Gyokus, you know, stuff like that. Or space into the cards, you know, like if they go Tensin, set Tensin, you know, you got space into the card you need. It just helps. So you need to play these cards. Defissure, water matchup, anything that has to do with graveyard control decks. You know, obviously any traps, 2 DNA surgeries, spell books, Bujins, anything of that matter. With Bujins, you have to activate it because when they go Yamato, they can't activate Crane or the Turtle because they're not it's no longer a beast. Mind Crush. Every deck searches right now. Taki's already live, like I said. Search cards are at max, and you got to be able to play against them. Wind ups, Fire Fists, anything that can play tanky. Matter of fact, anything that can play tanky. Black Wings, anything. The mirror match, Harpies, anything that puts, you know, when they go sign, you put cards in your hand, you stop that. Overworked. I side this against Harpies as well, but it's mostly for the Fire Fist, Fire King matchup, or anything that plays tanky. Because any deck that likes to spam tanky always has a boost, so this just demolishes them. You need this. Chaos Trap Hole, Constellars, mostly for Constellars, mostly what it's for. Constellars in the mirror match, that's what it's mostly for, but you can play for other stuff too. Double Debunk to stop hand traps and water. Like, it's mostly against water now in this format, but also against hand traps. Like, same thing with Bujins and stuff like that. It's anything with hand traps, anything. Anything that activates in the hand. Dark World. Same thing. Hand of Grave. It just stops it. Or, what is it? Yeah, it is Hand of Graveyard. Okay, I had to make sure real quick. And Soul Drain. Soul Drain, again, for the Graveyard control decks. Same difference. Skill Drain for the grave and remove from play. And then Eradicator Virus to round out your 15 card. Side deck against, mainly against spell books, but also against any deck that plays multiple of anything. Fire Fist, any kind of deck. Like I said, any deck that plays tanky. That's what you want to worry about this format. Any deck that plays tanky the most. So play Fire Fist, anything like that. Hit cold spells, hit all the spells that can't do nothing. They really can't really do nothing. It rips everything apart. Any deck. It makes you losing your Ophion or losing any kind of big dark monster not a minus on your part. You activate, boom, call whatever you think is right, rip their hand apart. Rip their hand. Also, activating it lets you see their hand and prepare for future plays. You know what you're playing. You know what you got to do. You know what you have to bait out. You know what they have for 3 turns. You know what they have currently, and for 3 more turns what they're gonna have. So, because either have to search it or draw it. And when they draw it, you're gonna see it. When they draw anything they draw, you see, and if they search it, you see it. So you have their current hand and 3 more or 2 more. You have just 3 turns of you seeing what they're gonna play, which can definitely put the game 100% in your favor. And that's pretty much it. So there you have it. That's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to your Yu-Gi-Oh channel's Yu-Gi-Oh channel, as well as our Yu-Gi-Oh channel. The link will be somewhere in the annotation, either here or here, I believe, where you can link to us and subscribe to us. Again, thank you to your Yu-Gi-Oh channel for allowing us to come on here today to talk to you guys and give you guys this great deck profile and explanation. And that's pretty much it. And this is your boy Joe Grizz, Team Avalanche, Yam Squad, signing out, saying peace YouTube and your Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Thanks for having us. Later.